Greetings, Legionists, Arndelt here. So in this, my 21st model showcase, I'll be showing off 3 different models. The first one being, of course, this heavy weapons team. And I, kind of put quotation marks around team because I don't actually have any guys on this thing yet. But this was something that I've been working on for a little while. Just the kind of concept of, and just like the fact that, mobile turret and whatnot, the turret can actually turn, that kind of thing. And trying to leave enough room on the base so that the thing, guards could be on there. And in case you're wondering, yes, those barrels actually will shoot above these little side guards here. Those side guards are technically a little more upraised to try and protect the actual gunnery crew from incoming fire and whatnot, but the barrels of the heavy bolter still shoot over that. So, that's why that's like that. Anyway, moving on. Okay. This, of course, obviously being Sanguinius. I kind of got it into my head at one point that I just wanted to print this guy off and see how, if I can get him to look good. Details, especially on a smaller model, can sometimes be really hard, really difficult when it comes to 3D printing. And, obviously, the heavy weapons team and Sanguinius here, they're both 3D printed. If you love Games Workshop's Sanguinius model they came out with, more power to you. I personally hated it. I thought they made him look hideous, and Sanguinius is supposed to be this, angelic figure. I just hated it. I loathed it. And, there's probably a lot of people who are paid quite a bit to put a lot of work into that model, and I'm just like, there's plenty of people who show lots of love to it. You guys did a great job in their eyes. And besides just how hideous Sanguinius himself looks, I thought the model looked great. But I guess I just wasn't able to get past the fact that, in my mind, he just looked really, really bad. Anyway, though, there is a picture of Sanguinius that shows him on top of a demon's head like this. The pose is different in that shot. In the fact that his wings are, framed directly behind him while he's like this. Well, okay, so the picture's sort of taken from this angle, and the fact that the demon's skull he's stepping on in the picture is facing directly at the where the shot is coming from in the picture. But Sanguinius is fully facing that direction with his upper torso as well, and the fact that his wings are also framed perfectly behind him, rather than him kind of looking at you off to the side like this. And so SebTheis, and I'm hoping I'm pronouncing that correctly, but yeah, SebTheis was the one who designed and created this, as far as I know. I don't think this is a remix of something else. It might be, but this is great work. I have, the fact that the pose is just different from the picture, it's like whoop-de-doo. I'm just pointing that out just for the sake of it. This is a great job. And I went with the variation that has no cherubs or whatever those weird creepy things are, holding on to Sanguinius' wings. I just think those things are creepy. But anyway, yeah. I think this model is absolutely epic. I don't have it complete yet, obviously. I still need to get his flaming sword printed out. That, though, I'm going to consider a nightmare, because every time I've ever attempted to print smaller swords, they just turn out awful. They just turn out absolutely awful, and I hate it. And I'm just marveling at the fact that his spear turned out so well. That genuinely surprised me. You can see the green stuff over the ribbon or banner coming off of his spear there. That liquid green stuff that I put over that, was because there was a lot of steps, essentially ridges along that area. It was pretty severe. So I smoothed it out with some liquid green stuff, and I'll further smooth it out some more when I glaze him. And yeah, just like with the weapons team, when I'm done with Sanguinius here, I will do another model showcase showing, you know, sort of the difference between right now and where he will be. So, yeah. Anyway. Okay. And I decided to include this guy, actually, really quick, because I actually developed a whole backstory to this tank that I may actually share at one point. But this tank is part of, well, a squadron called Scratch Company. And they're called that because the company was essentially formed from scratch. For, you know, and it's not even a full company. It's literally 2 pieces of armor. The other piece of armor is a basilisk. And both of these, you know, this Leman Russ and that basilisk have terrible histories. Like, they're, in the eyes of almost everyone, they're pieces of crap. They're garbage. And if it weren't for the fact that there was a war on, right, in the very system that they were manufactured in, they would already have been turned into scrap. Just scrap for spare parts. Because of how absolute junk they are. And actually, the basilisk was scheduled for being scrapped, but due to a mishandling of orders, it was spared that. I'm going to have to get that story and share it at some point on my channel, because in my opinion, it's a really, it's one of, most of my written works that I've done recently have been really bad, but that one wasn't just good. It was, like, really good in my opinion. But anyway, moving on. This is the final piece I'll be showing off, my 4th one. And this is, like the first 3, 3D printed, but this one is post-glazing and obviously painting. I already glazed him. And I've done some painting. They're not finished. This is his base right here. And as you can see, I'm attempting to go for a lava kind of look. Obviously, that needs more work. In the actual thing looks more orange. The video here, it's making it look really yellow and whatnot. I went with a darker orange in the actual paint. And I'm told that I need to go with, in the center of lava and whatnot, I need to go with a lighter color like yellow. So it looks like I did it right, but I actually did it wrong. The center needs to be yellow, and then it needs to get darker as it goes outward. And then I had recommendations to try and pockmark the rest of it to show lava underneath the hardened black rock and whatnot, because magma takes a really long time to cool down, and it's generally not so uniform like this and whatnot. And I'm just trying to figure out how to do that, because painting is not my forte. I love being creative. I love experimenting. I love doing random things and taking risks. And that's honestly what attracted me to 3D printing in the first place. I love to experiment. I love random things. Just making random things. Oh, it's just one of my favorite things ever. But, yeah. I mean, I just gotta let it go. Let it go. Alright, anyway. So, I haven't finished this guy, obviously. He still needs shoulder pauldrons. I'm working on that. He's a Custodes Jetbiker. He's the only one I've currently made. I had to do some improvisation because I couldn't find, like, I wanted him to be able to be run as a typical sort of custodian jetbiker. And unfortunately, that was a difficult proposition because there was no weapons that would default to him that were legally runnable. And so this missile pod that you can sort of see shining in the light there a little bit. You can see it a little better from that shot. I need to actually tip the warheads and whatnot and put some outlines in there so things are more defined, and that this poor camera of mine, which just is not very good, picks it up better. But yeah. This is my in-progress Custodes Jetbike. Wanted to create a custom one and just have fun with it. Okay, I know I said I was only going to do 4 a month. I went from 3 to 4, and now I'm at 5. But I just wanted to include this guy, Legion of the Damned Flamethrower Dude, just because he looks so absolutely freaking awesome. I know plenty of people own the standard model. He's not even primed. He's just assembled and all of that. But, I mean, Terra, he just looks so good. If you have any question whatsoever about, if resin models can look good, in my opinion, the Legion of the Damned, it's like the end game of the argument. Yes, they're fragile. Yes, they break super easily. But Terra, they look good. And it's just hard to argue with that level of result right there. I mean, oh darn. It just looks so freaking awesome. Anyway, I'll go ahead and end it there. Yeah, the first 4 models, they were all 3D printed. This guy, he's made of resin, an official Games Workshop piece. Legion of the Damned Flamethrower Dude. Absolutely amazing in detail and whatnot. Love him. Anyway, though, the Sanguinius, the Heavy Weapons team, and the Leman Russ, they're all 3D printed. The Leman Russ is one of my earlier works. And there was a part of me when I first made it and whatnot, I was like thinking about scrapping it, but I was just like, no, not everything has to look pretty. This poor guy's just, been through the ringer, etc., and lots of blah, 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 which is why I made the backstory to him, to explain, like, this tank, nobody wanted it, it's just junk. And I am going to see if I can make it look good. I'm going to glaze it, like I do all my other models, and see what comes out of it. In any case, if anybody has any feedback, especially on the lava base, I would appreciate it. Painting, not my forte. I'm trying. The camera's lighting is now doing weird things. I told it to lock and not do this, but now it's doing it. Whatever. Anyway, so if you have any feedback at all on any of this, leave it down in the comment section below. If you like this video, please leave it one. If you didn't, please let me know why. And if you're new to the channel and genuinely enjoy this kind of content, please consider subscribing. In any case, don't get into too much trouble or do. Ow! It's always up to you. Toodles.